Hello, I am presenting my extended executive summary for Nike Incorporated. My name is Lucrecia Figueroa and I am an MBA student here at Grand Canyon University. To start off, Nike is at the top of the footwear market, has been at the top of the footwear market for years. Through its marketing mix, Nike has strengthened its capabilities to protect its business from the strong force of competition. Pricing power is supported through the premium innovation and a structural shift toward a direct-to-consumer business. Through their innovation and technology, Nike continues to widen their pricing gap with the rival footwear manufacturers. Nike's vision and mission statement. Nike did not have a set vision statement per se, so the vision statement that we decided to create was as follows. We dare to design the future of sport by expanding human potential and inspiring people to achieve greatness with innovative sports gear for every athlete around the globe. Their mission statement was a little too broad and short, so we decided to add more into it. So it is as follows. To unite the world through sports, to create a healthy planet, active communities, and an equal playing field for all. We do that by creating groundbreaking, innovative footwear, sportswear, leisure wear, and equipment that enhances performance and comfort for every athlete. By making our products more sustainability, building a creative and diverse global team, and by making a positive impact in communities where we live and work, we will foster successful relationships with all stakeholders. The new vision statement displays all the characteristics to facilitate the organizational change and describe the desired future state. The new mission statement guides priorities, strategies, plans, and work assignments and aligns action of employees and consumers. Nike versus their rivals. Nike's new vision and mission statements changed the consumer view of what an athlete is. Nike compared to its rivals will help promote more activity and movement globally. Moving on. Internal assessment. The strengths and weaknesses that are highlighted yellow, as you can see, are the ones that lead the most directly with my recommendations. The IE matrix is an important management tool that companies use to examine vital positions in working of a company. This matrix examines both internal and external factors that are consolidated into one model. Their total IFE score is 2.65, which is way above the midpoint, which is 2.50. This means that Nike's strengths and weaknesses are working, but they can be improved. Nike is extremely dependent on their footwear market because that is the biggest source of revenue. Their retailers have a lot of control over Nike because they own about 60 to 70% of their stocks. They're able to control Nike's pricing structure, and that has been one of Nike's weaknesses since the get-go. Moving on. Their external assessment. The opportunities and threats that are highlighted in yellow are the ones that lead most directly to my recommendations. Nike is the largest sports apparel company in the world. Their external assessment allows them to find value in their opportunities and reduce their weaknesses. Their total EFE score is 3.05. This number shows us that Nike is performing above the industry average. The EFE matrix identifies the questionable business practices in Nike's manufacturing facilities, which also has a huge potential to damage Nike's image. There has been a couple times that Nike has been criticized about their work ethics, especially in the manufacturing companies that they use overseas. Some people judge Nike a lot because of their work environment in those companies, their quote unquote sweatshops. Nike needs to focus a lot on that because that's one of their biggest weaknesses that a lot of consumers still can't get on board buying their products because they do not support children working or just people in general working for 12 cents an hour or 12 cents a day. Moving on. Nike SWOT matrix. Nike is a great example that represents successful management of the factors that contribute to the growth and development of the company. The strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat analysis, SWOT, is an important matching tool that helps managers develop 4 types of strategies. The strength and opportunity strategies, SO, the weakness opportunity strategies, WO, the strength and threat strategies, ST, and the weaknesses and threat strategies, WT. So going over their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, let's start with their strengths. Their strengths consist of brand recognition, high product quality, effective marketing strategy, capacity of innovation, strong distribution chain, strong research and development, and a strong customer loyalty. Some of their weaknesses include overseas manufacturing, dependency, decreasing US market share, high product price compared to its competitors, currency exposure, and medium retail presence. Some of their opportunities include expansion into emerging markets, increased demand in product innovation, growing segment of women athletes, and an increase in athletic events. Some of their threats include fierce industry competition, revenue relies on consumers' income, economic recession, and fluctuation in the currency. All of these are things that Nike can use their strengths and use their strengths to minimize their weaknesses, and use those opportunities to maximize their strengths, and use their opportunity strengths to minimize threats as well. Next, the BCG matrix. This matrix is called the Boston Consulting Group matrix. This matrix is very beneficial because it's easy to perform and it helps to understand the strategic position of the company's portfolio. All of Nike's divisions are considered stars since they are competing in an industry with high growth rates. The footwear division over here generates the largest amount of revenue for Nike at $25,880 billion. The apparel market, which is the second largest revenue stream for Nike, brings in about $11,668 billion a year. And the equipment division, which is what brings the least amount of revenue for Nike, brings in about $1,428 billion a year. Next, some recommendations that I have is that Nike really needs to focus on their competitive advantage. Their customer loyalty is a strong source of their competitive advantage. They do have a very strong customer loyalty. They take good care of their customers, and they make sure that they know that their customers are the main priority for them. I would recommend Nike to use Porter's generic strategies model. The first strategy I would recommend is the differentiation strategy. They're able to create new products and try to tackle new things that haven't really been put in the market per se. Like, for example, in 2017, when they created the sports hijab, that was a very interesting differentiation strategy that they used, because none of their competitors had been part of that market before. Well, technically, it wasn't even a market before Nike created it. None of Under Armour or Adidas didn't think of creating a sports hijab. So that was a benefit for Nike, because they were able to target those specific consumers and get that revenue. Another one of Porter's generic strategies model that I would use would be cost leadership strategy. The cost leadership strategy is, a lot of people think that they automatically assume that cost leadership strategy is lowering the price on the product, but it's really not. It's basically the company is minimizing their production costs, while they're trying to maximize their revenue. So what Nike can do is try to find more manufacturers that can create the product for a cheaper price as well. And that way they're not having that many operating expenses, and a lot of their total revenue doesn't have to go towards the operating cost. Another thing that Nike needs to work on is their market penetration. Nike is a global company, which means that they're part of various different markets. They should consider going into the Africa and Middle East market, because those are they're increasing markets, they're growing markets, and a lot of places in those countries, the consumers are requesting more, demanding more footwear and sports apparel as well. The next strategy I would suggest is market development. They need to create new and innovative products, just how they created the sports hijab. They're able to create more products, since they do have a strong research and development department. They have the funds and the resources to create more innovative products. Lastly, I believe that they need to consider opening more stores in the US, because their US sales have dropped so bad during the last couple of years. They're not selling that much within the US anymore. So by opening more stores in the US, they're targeting those American consumers again, and are able to create more revenue, which in a way is a little bit better, because when you're selling in the US, since they're a US based company, they don't really have to go through all the currency exchange or fluctuation changes and all the international laws as well. So they can spend less on their legal team or any other fees or expenses that they might incur during their opening in different markets, if they decide to open more stores in the US. Next, their EPS and EBIT analysis. As you can see, there is no difference in the earnings per share between debt and equity financing. So I would recommend they use a 50-50 combination of debt and equity to not weaken the ownership, and also ensure that their interest payments do not affect Nike's cash flow. Their projected financial statements. Let's start with Nike's projected income statement. Nike's revenues are projected to increase 5% in 2020, 7% in 2021, and 9% in 2022. Their cost of goods sold is projected to increase 6% in 2020 and 9% in 2021 and 2022. Their net income is projected to increase 12% in 2020 and increase 8% in 2021 and 2022. Moving on to their balance sheet. They have a projected 2% increase in 2020 and a 25% and 10% increase during 2021 and 2022 to their cash and equivalents. A projected 7% in 2020 and an 8% in 2021 and 2022 for their accounts receivable. Their assets, which are all the things that Nike owns, are projected to increase 39% in 2020, 17% in 2021, and 9% in 2022. Their liabilities, which are all the things that Nike does not own, are projected to increase 24% in 2020, 20% in 2021, and 5% in 2022. Their total equity is also projected to increase 54% in 2020, 15% in 2021, and 14% in 2022. Their leadership and Christian worldview. Nike's leadership, their company's leadership should have high risk-taking ability to be able to create a trusting environment for their employees, encourage employees to share and try their innovative ideas, create an open and trusting environment to get the most out of their employees, expand an innovative team within all of their brands, and also increasing the staff under the Chief Talent, Diversity, and Culture Officer. If their company leadership is able to do all of these things, they will have a better chance at finding more innovative ideas for products that they can be appealing to the consumers. And by increasing the staff that reports directly to the Chief Talent, Diversity, and Culture Officer, they will be able to find more talent for Nike and also create a diverse and welcoming culture for the company. The Christian worldview. Nike does not follow the Christian worldview per se, but they do some things that do go hand in hand with the Bible. One of their campaigns back in 2017 stated that believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. It shows you that Nike is willing to stand against is willing to stand for social justice and show everybody that you don't need that if you believe in something, you can go for it. And that's something that goes within the Bible, that you're supposed to be able to respect everybody and their ideas as well. Another way that Nike kind of goes with the Christian worldview is that they give back to the community. Nike has donated millions of dollars within their time as a company to communities where their employees live in, or communities where they have large offices or just stores. They're able to give back to the parks and create different programs for the youth. They began lowering their carbon footprint as well to take care of the environment. That is something that does go with the Bible, because God intended on creating this planet and letting us take care of it. So by Nike, who is such a large corporation, trying to go back and cut their carbon footprint, it shows you that they are somewhat going with the Christian worldview, but they are not very open about it. Conclusion. Throughout this analysis, Nike has proven that they are a strong company financially. They have several things that they need to improve on, but compared to their competitors, They are going to remain at the top of the footwear industry for many more years to come. Their projected financial statements show us that their revenues are still going to increase throughout the next 3 years. As you can see on the right-hand side, Nike compared to Adidas, Asics, Puma, and Under Armour, they are on the top financially. Back in 2019, you can see the charts of their revenue by billions per year. And you can see that Nike has been able to manage about 20 billion or more per year since 2016, while their largest competitors, Adidas, Puma, and Under Armour, have not reached that 20 billion mark yet. So this concludes my presentation. I appreciate your time listening and have a good day.